Hello YouTube friends, viewers and trolls who's gonna be blocked as always as soon as you leave a small little negative comment with a troll-like profile. So today is December 16th, 2018 and a topic is roughly around the time Uhljeb, a new word in the English language from now on. The word Uhljeb I mentioned a couple of times. Literal translation is U means in and hljeb is archaic term for a loaf of bread. So to be in a loaf of bread means that through the connections I previously explained, the whitelisting, the political suitability of not only you but your ancestors, you've been given a job which either is not needed, like a government job, position can be opened for you, the completely fake position. And I heard lots of stories about that, like, you know, seemingly funny stories. But then another thing is, I don't know if you can hear this weird motor driver playing around here. And, okay, I got it. I know who that is, and not a nice guy. And another thing is, Uhljeb also means somebody who has protected the position of power anywhere, but his main job is not to do his job. His main job is basically to police others. Basically, let's put it very simple, that you are a member of a party, and the party placed you either inside the corporation or in a government, which is the same thing in the essence, and your job is not really to do accounting or marketing or any of those things, but your job is to be around your colleagues. And if you overhear somebody saying something politically incorrect, like build a wall or oh, those Muslim terrorists or something, you go straight to the HR and you report that person. And then after that, when you get instructed by your boss or either person who actually put you there, then you are part of the gang which gonna mob out that person away from the company. So basically, Uhljeb is somebody who is in the line of a job and in private and on the internet policing other people, and because of that he has a job and he is keeping his job. This is my extended version of the Uhljeb based on what I know about their behavior and from what I noticed. And I have now really good opportunity to observe people because I studied Chinese and I know about some things about some of the 50 people which are studying there. What I noticed is that Uhljebi are very pack animals. You have typical alpha, beta and omega types of males, and I would say typical Uhljeb is a good beta. He's a good underdog, meaning he's gonna laugh on whatever psychopath is saying. He's gonna immediately verbally attack a person, and etc, etc, etc. Can you see that big black dog? Okay, let's see if it's gonna go away. Sometimes I have situations with them. That's good. And the small one. That's good. So, this is my explanation of the term Uhljeb. I'm sure that you have them. Well, you know, let's say who would be like a typical Uhljeb, you know. Let's say Macron, el presidente. He would be, he finished, basically, you're gonna laugh now. Why am I comparing myself to him? There are some things which I know is funny, but for example, we are pretty much same generation, and pretty much same time we finished universities. We got our degrees, but my first job was on ships. Can you see ships in the harbor? All right, yeah, on a ship as a photographer, and his first job was a manager at the central bank in Paris. That's called being parachuted into the job, right? That means straight after you finish university, like a Chelsea, Clinton. Straight after she finished university, she was parachuted in that, was it $100,000 job first year, which is maybe not for you a lot. For me, it's like more than everything I'm gonna see in my lifetime. So, you know, this would be like a classical example of Uhljeb, but they are like couple of, if you can imagine, Macron, el presidente di Francia, if you can imagine him like being like mega type of Uhljeb, moving from central bank to the Rothschild bank and then to the politics, and then you have his underdogs, basically yes boss, people around him, his marketing people, his bookkeepers, his bankers, his assistants, right? And then you have people under them, you know, the drivers, the waiters, the cooks working for them. And see, all those people need to be in a very strict political line, meaning no funny jokes, meaning super politically correct, meaning jumping on every person who's thinking with his own head privately and during the work and online. Like, so job of Uhljeb is actually not that simple as people think. It's all-encompassing, like a form of a Gesamtkunstwerk from Wagner, who invented opera. All elements of a play, you know, the cover, the singing, the costumes, the band playing, and you know, everything. So Uhljeb's life is quite complicated, because he's essentially the slave of the system, or simply just one digital number in one matrix, soulless in the essence. Even if he's sold, he's soulless, because he sold his soul to the devil. And whitelisting, explaining what is a whitelisting, you already know what is a blacklisting. And how does it all work where I'm from? And you guys are from everywhere. 82% of my viewers are from United States, mostly from California. And then I have Canadians, British and Australians, and 2.6% Indians who are viewing only one video, and which is slavery now and then with the skinny white girls in bikinis. So not my real audience, but there is one guy from Naga province, from area between India, China and Bangladesh, and he's a really cool guy. So namaste sahib. So there was one video from Al Jazeera, and I'm not gonna digress now, but I'm gonna digress in the future about this propaganda which is going on here in Croatia lately. But it's a very actually good video. Al Jazeera is making very nice documentaries, and it's a documentary about 3 different people from 3 different ethnicities, young people from Bosnia, one Bosniak Muslim girl, one Serb, ethnic Serb guy from Banja Luka, and one young Croatian engineer. I think he's finished electric engineering. The girl from Sarajevo, she finished the genetics. I couldn't really understand if she's a doctor or what kind of field related to genetics is that, but she seems to be highly educated. And the third guy finished humanistic studies, you know, sociology, this kind of stuff, and he's working in the copy shop. Not coffee shop, but photocopy shop. We don't actually have, unfortunately, coffee shops in this area. Only illegal ganja from Albania, sold basically by the local police and their networks. So how does it work? So this guy from Croatian area of Bosnia really said something very, very important in this video, and he said,
načelnik jedne općine me navodno stopirao bio za jedan natječaj za posao i neko mi je savjetovao da popijem kavu s njim. Družili smo se mi, ugodan čovjek, sve to ok. Međutim, tu su saznaš neke stvari koje ti onako malo su realne, znači da se u takim nekim općinskim čak institucijama na nekim nivoima odlučuje koga će se zaposliti na bilo kakav posao, bilo to čistačica, bilo to neka veća funkcija, nije bitno, ali to su takvi poslovi gdje moraš držati ljude koji će te sutra opet izabrati, jel? To tako funkcionira, da se vrednuju neke stvari kao nečije predispozicije i kvalitete, to teži slučaj. Nakon svog tog razgovora jedna je rečenica bila kao idem sutra kod šefa pa ću te spomenuti, a šef je u HDZ-u jedan ovdje, jel? Hvala ti, draga.
And he's highly skilled for modern jobs. You know, his profession, electrical engineers are really asked for in Croatia, but definitely in Western Europe and in Bosnia. It is as it is, and the thing is to explain how it is in Bosnia. It's far worse than in Croatia, but similar enough to be compared. Because if you look at the map, Croatia is like a horseshoe, and Bosnia is like a muffin in that horseshoe, like my big nose and my eyes. And 1/4 of Croats, including me, have at least somebody from Bosnia, like mother or father or somebody. So this is a very interconnected region, and in many things very similar. But unfortunately, we don't have that many Muslims as they do. So how does it work? He said that during the one job application, he was basically moved away from the list, and then it's been told to him that he's been moved away from the list because the local municipality, excuse me, mayor asked for it, and it's been told to him that it might be good to have a couple of cups of coffee with this guy. So he said seemed to be a nice guy, and then this nice guy said that he's gonna ask the chief of the Conservative Party, HDZ, Kradeze, extremely fucking corrupt in Bosnia and here. It's a ruling party since the end of the communism. Deeply stinking bastards, I'll go now into the how network goes. And so he had cups of coffee, and this guy said that he's gonna talk to the Čović, Dragan, and that was basically it. And he, of course, left Bosnia and found a job in Norway. But then he said one interesting thing. He said that on that level, high political level, all jobs been decided from the janitor up. So one thing what people from more developed economy gonna think immediately, well, fuck government jobs, man, how about private sector? Well, guys, it's actually everything is super connected. In Croatia, about 70% of whole economy is connected to the state, really. And even if it's not directly connected to the state, let's say like local pubs and small restaurants on the coast, they are connected to the state via extremely strong fiscal and other types of inspections and control, which are actually closing businesses for 1 kuna or above more in a cash register when they're checking you up. If, for example, if you're waiter working on a bar and people leaving you tips and you're putting those tips in the cash machine, if they check if you have more than 1 kuna and $1 is 6.4 kuna, they're gonna close your business for a couple of weeks and you're gonna pay fine about $5,000 or up. And it doesn't matter if it is in the middle of the season. So if you're not connected, if you're connected, they're never gonna visit your place. So this is how this mobbing is going on. So where am I going with this? How it seemed to me is that where I'm from, everything is really super connected to the powers that be, and there is one system. And he briefly said that they need to do it like this because these people who they gave a job gonna back them up in the future. So this is what we call the negative selection, and I'm sure that what I'm saying is going on in your area, But the difference between first world countries like United States, Canada, UK, Holland, you know, Australia, those nice countries, second world countries like Croatia, Bosnia is more like on a third world country level than a second, but Thailand is a second world country. What would be also like a Mexico, and then third world countries like a Bosnia, like Cambodia, like Nigeria. So the difference is you have basically the same system, but the level of suffocation is stronger. More you into the shithole league, and I'm somewhere between the hardcore shithole league and where my viewers are. I'm like in between, maybe closer to the shithole league. So what am I trying to say this? Now imagine this, for the sake of the argument, that where I'm from, not where you're from, that we have not only blacklisting, but we also have a whitelisting. And whitelisting is when your name is, and I know it for a fact from another example, when your name is as a family name and on your first name is on the list of people who deserve to be employed because you and your parents and your grandparents and maybe even the whole bloodline actually work for the powers that be. Maybe not that actively as the political members and, you know, pushers and shakers, because those guys are more into upper middle class and even upper class, but as a, you know, as a psychopath has these flying monkeys, and you as a family, you've been always a flying monkey of the psychopathic system, always cheering for whatever bullshit they're selling. Well, this actually puts you on a white list for a government jobs, even a janitor. Even for a janitor, you need to have approval from the up. Okay, you're not gonna get it even if you have university like kind of diploma. You're not gonna get a janitor job here, which is actually quite asked for. And then another thing is, now imagine what you have is a blacklisting. Blacklisting basically prohibits you from any work. So how does it work with the private sector? It's actually the same thing because of the reptilian Illuminati network. The same thing is the private sector and the state. The state is just the outfit on the reptilian Illuminati body matrix. You understand me? It's nothing but a design like on a shopping bag. A shopping bag has its purpose. You can put any design you want, any logo. So there is no clear definition between a corporation and a state. And you guys know it from theory of statism that corporations are actually forming governments and forming states in as we know it. Like I think it was quite visible in 2008 crisis, which hit the states and the rest of the world. Which, of course, if you know anything about Croatia, you know one thing, which is a beautiful country. But you need to differentiate two things. Land and a country. Okay, people mix those two. It shouldn't be mixed. Land is as a beauty of the nature. If I walk 7 meters from here, I will see beautiful bay, and with the islands and a whole city, and it's just a beautiful bay. But I'm blacklisted, and I was never on a white list. Okay, so this is the beauty of the land. But the state is what gives us ability to get a job, to get a loan for apartment, loan for a car, to get married, to have a children. Well, in Croatia is we have about 55,000 deaths per year and about 30,000 kids born. So we have a mortality, not natality, and it's been like this since the fall of the horrible communism in 1990. And lots of people are emigrating. I think 7% of Croats emigrated to Germany alone in 3 years, and which would be like, imagine that about from 330 million Americans, it's impossible, but from 330 million Americans, like 25 million or more migrated to Canada in 3 years. You know, this is something what people notice. Only one country. There are other countries, people migrating to Ireland as well in huge numbers. This whole little island gonna sink from all these Croats and Poles, and these are, I guess, the good guys, the guys with Allahu Ekber with knives. These are the bad immigrants because they don't want to work and they want to stab and fuck, right? So me again, and my political incorrectness, but it's connected. So what is happening is the white genocide thing is so subtly, so elegantly made that it's going on for decades, and what common people notice is nema posla, no job, oni gore političari, those up politicians, korupcija, corruption, and that's about it. But they can see these trees, but they cannot see the forest. They don't see that it's one ecosystem. Everything is connected. One tree is connected to another tree. They're all connected with the local animals. Everything is one living organism. And this living organism is being controlled and conditioned by the psychopathic entities, which are multidimensional, so-called demons, and which, of course, run this system through the people who've been born in the satanic families, multi-generationally, aka the Illuminati, but they also have all other people to play with and to work for them, people like you and me. Although I'm obviously not working for them, maybe you are. And even if you say, oh, Kruno, fuck you, I'm not like that, I have my job, meritocracy, I earned it, me, myself and I. And you know what, if I were in front of you, I would think what I'm gonna say, but say nothing in front of you, because honestly I'm just tired of conflicts. But in my opinion, it's just a bullshit, because the way how everything functions everywhere is, if you play the ball with the system, they give you some plate full of beans, maybe a piece of bacon, or lamb if you're Muslim. But if you don't, this plate is going away. And this is actually what is killing my race, maybe your race if you're white, but at the end of the day, it's just gonna kill the whole humanity. In the future, I'm gonna be talking about the game they're playing. For example, now they're starting to, and this is so amazing. Now on level of a state, Croatian state, now they're starting for Muslim immigrants to do something which they never done for a person like me. So you can laugh what I'm gonna say, but I was never legally employed in Croatia. I was never qualified enough in the eyes of the system. I was never on the white list, even when I was working, to be legally employed, meaning permanently employed, meaning a state is paying pension fund for you and medical insurance, I mean state employer. But for Muslims, now they're starting a new policy. Every single one gonna get 2,750 kuna. I'll write here what is that in USA, divided by 6.4, about 400 USA. Minimum wage is 3,100 and about 25% are receiving it. They're gonna get the medical insurance, they're gonna get the free transportation. Me as an unemployed person, I never, absolutely never in the history of my life received a single cent from the Croatian state. Is this offending you? If it is, deal with your paranoia. Thank you for watching, and if you like, if you want to subscribe, if you want to comment something, please do, but understand that I can't really read your minds on a distance and from time distance as well. So if you're commenting, please use correct spelling, and please use understandable grammar. Thank you and bye-bye.